and they said, obviously it was the distribution center. They mistakenly put the mail in the return to sender tray.
Oh, did you get mail back too?
Did you?
Yes.
3 of my electric
Yes,
bills, my
me
phone.
too.
My
Yep.
God, that's ridiculous.
Yep, and I brought it into the woman at the post
Oh, yeah,
office,
they
and
don't-
I'm like, is
yeah.
there any reason why these got returned?
Yeah,
And she looked at everything and she goes, nope,
no.
not that I can see.
Well, they said it
Yeah.
happened at the distribution center, and they put them in the wrong tray when they were sorting. I mean, we're still manually sorting things into a tray.
Yeah, I got 2 bills back.
Oh, I was so upset
Yeah.
because I just figured, I hadn't done my bank statement, so I figured they had cleared. So now I don't have any money and I have double bills.
Right. Wow.
So I said, I'm gonna hand carry the check to the town hall.
The post office is useless, it's.
Oh, it's terrible, and they can't tell you anything.
I think your first tax bill, and I've had 2 of them, was a post office issue. Cause I checked the address, you know what I mean, I'm like, I know a couple of them.
And you know, they wonder why they might be, I hope they.
That would, I mean, that's the address. Before I resend them, I wanna verify that I have the right address, and I did, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't mind sending them again, but I know that they went out.
Yeah, absolutely,
I don't deny that they went out, it's just stupid that.
yeah.
Are we ready?
I'm surprised we haven't gotten more back. Yeah.
Okay, let's call this meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance to the flag.
Bring it out. Oh, we'll leave it here.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll open it with citizens' comments. See Sandy's here, she must have something you'd like to discuss.
Few questions, I maybe wait till we get to the things, if you want,
The what?
the subjects,
Okay,
And
so it's
they-
subject specific?
the lake level.
Okay.
On the
Okay.
lake.
Yep.
Is the main reason that drew me here,
All right.
and then, one about the
I'm not, sorry that I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm not sure it's on the agenda, so if you wanna talk it right now, we put it on the
boat
agenda.
landing and dam status is number 9.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, no.
I mean, it's there, I mean, it doesn't matter.
We can start with that one unless, do you have anything you'd like to share?
No,
Okay.
no,
Just that I'm tired of listening to rumors, I figured I'd just come right down here and figure out
Okay.
what's
Glad
going
to
on.
do.
Well, do we, I don't mind hitting it first.
Taking it out of
Go
the
ahead.
sequence?
Okay, we'll start with the
I don't,
planning
you
and
mind?
status
No,
Sandy.
no.
You have a couple questions?
Right, I mean, it's a definitely change of management style.
Yep.
And as a landowner and a dock owner, I'm not the only, a lot of people are calling me with concerns, and I said, well, you know what, we need to talk to the people with you.
Yep.
It doesn't help to talk amongst us,
Sure.
and, I just wanna know why it's going down so late.
Okay, so, John and I had a couple of, 4 or 5 different people ask us to keep it up for, through Thanksgiving. And, so we said yes, as long as the weather allowed it to.
Okay.
We had nobody else ask about the docks until Dick Stimson actually called me, Saturday. And he was the first person to ask about when we were gonna drain it because of, he had some people concerned about getting their docks.
Right.
Nobody else has reached out to us,
Right.
that I know of. I haven't seen anything come
Right.
across, so,
Now, these people, are they taxpayers, or are they?
yeah, they're camp owners.
The camp owners, but are they taxpayers, because people on the islands don't pay taxes to the forts,
Okay,
okay?
Yeah.
And
so what's the concern, I guess, is,
the concern is if the lake freezes right now.
Yep.
And it goes down.
Yep.
My dock is gonna be affected.
So what we told them
So
is,
it's
and I,
not
and I'll reiterate,
Yeah.
is that unless temperature's permitting, we'll keep it open. So, I watch the weather every day. It's gonna be 40 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday again this week.
Right,
So it's really not freezing, and I told Dick the same thing when he called Saturday. So, nobody has reached out to us prior to that, some people had asked for us to do it, I thought it was a kind thing to do. I've seen it before open through December before with people fishing out there, so I didn't think it was a
I
concern.
don't know if I can do that.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's a change of management style, and it just makes me worry about my shoreline. If it freezes and the lake goes down, you've got all that extra ice on the shore.
I
You've
understand that.
seen it, you, by your camp, you know what it is.
Yep.
And then in the spring, when the water comes up, you've got all that extra ice.
We've been paying a lot, close attention to it, I assure you.
Well, and the fact that Moxie Stream is still pinched off with gate number 1 is a big concern of mine.
Well, it's coming over the spillway.
That does not help that part of the stream, okay? You have not just fish, but you have aquatic animals, you have salamanders, you have frogs. You know, there's a lot of things that impact that it doesn't seem like it's a big deal.
Nope, it does seem like a big deal, I understand that, yeah.
There's a lot of concern with the drought over now, it wouldn't hurt to open up that spillway to the 3 inches that we always left it.
And we did that for a minute, and I'll be honest, Brandon asked us to, hold back, because so we could get to his camp, and we did. And we just didn't open it back up. We had it open prior to, and then we closed it back up, so Brandon could get to his camp for his little outing there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a special time in the stream, I get that,
Yeah,
So-
but.
Does it sound reasonable we can open that back up again?
Absolutely, yeah.
So-
And I'll make sure that John's aware and have him do it first thing in the morning.
I mean, I just don't see why we just don't dump the lake and get it done. And that way, you don't have to worry about the gates
Yep.
freezing up, you don't have to worry about the docks being affected. I mean, I don't want my dock pulled away from the shore. I've already lost a lot of land because of the extra water, movement over the years.
Over the years, yeah.
Over the years. And the ice on the shore, I mean, I like to explore the lake. I can't get my dock out right now.
Mhm.
I can't, because it's underwater. Usually I get it out by Thanksgiving, and it's done, and it's out of the way. Well, it's a good thing to get out of the way. My
So do you
sister's-
have, and I'll take your word for it, how many people have asked you about,
I would say 6 to 10 people
6
have
to
asked
10
me,
people, okay.
what's going on with Blake? And I said, well, you know what? I haven't talked to him, and I say I haven't, and I haven't, that's on me, not on you, that's on me.
No, it's
No,
on
that's
all of us,
glad to
because
hear.
I haven't heard any, this is the first,
Right.
prior to Dick Stimson
Right.
calling me on Saturday,
Right.
and I talked to him Monday, I didn't get a chance to talk to him over the weekend, we had a lot going on. But regardless, so
Right.
yesterday and today was the first conversation I've heard of anybody having any, anything about
Right,
draining it now, which, and I'm the guy that, majority rules. And I'm gonna check with John, and I know it was only 4 or 5 people that asked about keeping it up for him. So there's 6 to 10, and then there's, Dick, there's 7 or 8, I don't have a problem opening it, or talking, or at least starting the drawdown, slowly, if we will, you know what I mean?
you can talk to Tom, I mean, he can go over the past minute, he did it for how many years?
Yeah.
You can go over that,
Yeah.
and the general view of things, when you're managing something, it's just a very drastic change. It's not just.
I understand, not everybody likes change, I get that part.
Well, I'm worried about my property too.
I understand, yep, and I watched it, go ahead.
I just have a question because I'm a
Sure.
non-shorefront owner. At Moxie, so at Pleasant Pond, which is, you know, near where I live, where we live, everybody takes their docks out. I mean, mechanically, whatever,
Right.
you know what I mean, hire crew, this and that. Is it up at Lake Moxie, do people usually, I mean, like the town dock, we just left it in.
Yeah.
Is that what people tend to do, is just
Some.
leave it in when, and some of them?
Some take the opportunity when the lake goes down in the fall to work on their docks if they can, or pull them out, because it's easier to get in there without getting waders on and stuff like that.
Right, okay.
So, yes.
And you like to take yours out, Sandy?
Yeah, because I've left it in before and it got trashed.
No, the ice shifts so much on that lake,
It's not good. Mine is exposed to the windley runs of the ice,
Back
as
and
David
forth.
knows all about it.
Yep.
And, I just need to get it out, and I have to do it by myself, obviously.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna go down in the water by myself to do it.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I can say this, being formally asked has merit and weighs more than just having social conversation with anybody.
No, I get it,
So-
that's what I said, I said I shouldn't be down here talking to
Yeah.
you.
So,
Tomorrow.
well, I mean, I can't let John do it by himself,
Right.
so.
So,
it'll have to
cause we
come-
have it posted on the website as the 30th, so.
Right.
I do, I understand that, but.
He's talking about the 3 inches.
I mean, Mark Leathers is telling everybody November 15th. Now, Mark Leathers would love to see the lake full.
Oh, I know, trust me, I got the
Yeah.
freaking, I got all that paperwork from him, and I've had all,
2 years ago, that lake filled up
conversations.
in 8 hours.
I got it
8
all.
hours.
Yeah. Mine was standing on the side of the road, which is, and he dropped off some information from the other fisheries, I've heard, I got my share of, the information from
Oh,
him, so.
I'm sure.
And we used to do it, it was always, I don't know, the end of the first week or second week, I can't remember, it was probably the 15th, something around that general area.
Something like that.
So I didn't see any harm in leaving it for another couple of weeks, but formally now we've been asked.
Hmm.
We'll talk to John and we will, we'll start drawing down this weekend, this weekend.
I can't work on my waterfront, my whole rock wall collapsed this summer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I can't work on it because I still might not be able to work on it if it doesn't go down till the end of the month, because of the weather and all, but, and I have a lot of brush I need to burn and.
Yeah.
It's just a lot to be done, yeah.
I understand, we all understand that.
If you go beyond the 3 inches anytime soon or have a plan for
We
it,
might go beyond.
aren't you gonna open it the 3 inches to get the spillway?
I think
If you go-
I think why don't we just open it, at least one gate,
Right,
and let
okay.
it draw down, and not open all three, just open one gate, and that'll bring it down a lot, but slower than
Oh,
all
okay, I'm
three.
just wondering if we should announce it, that's all on the website.
We
That's
should.
all- That's what I'm driving at.
We will.
So
Yeah,
can
I
you
think-
compose something, cause I don't understand the gates and the
I will.
drawdown and
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah, this is just a general conversation, and
Right.
once that happens, then we'll make a formal decision.
We'll just get it on,
Yeah.
that's the best we can do for
But
folks.
that spillway is not supposed to maintain the level of the dam.
I understand.
The gate is supposed to do that.
It was, it gave water to the river, I understand exactly what you're saying.
Right?
I really do, I'm all about, the conservation part of
Right, and I'm just worried about the aquatic.
it. And we
Structure.
had it, yep, it is what it is, and we, yep. So we will get to it. Tomorrow morning, it'll open at least the 3 inches or some
Yeah,
to,
any movement would help, I
Yep.
think, and,
Yep.
we might get more rain at the end of the week, but drought, I think, is behind us, yay. I was crazy this summer, no water moving anywhere, the streams are all dry,
so,
couldn't spawn anyway.
any more concerns on that issue?
On the dam, no,
Okay,
just,
so what we'll do is, I'll draw up something and send it to you about the reasoning, what we're gonna open it, and apologize to the people that I'll draw something up and send it to you so you can post it on the website.
Okay.
I'll do that tomorrow.
and if you just, not everybody has been here as long as we have.
Yep.
And know what's going on
Yep.
with the dam. A lot of discussion on Facebook, which, we don't,
I saw all of it.
well, I know you've seen that.
I don't see it.
No, I know, but it's like, and like I tell people when they ask me, I said, well, you know what, I haven't talked to the selectmen, I don't know.
Right,
I don't know what their theories are.
Yep.
I've heard rumors, and I said, you know what, I'm going down to the meeting. I have to-
well, I appreciate that you come down to that.
Heck with it.
So that's what we'll do,
Yeah.
officially, we'll start tomorrow with at least a 3-inch draw. I'll get with John, try and find a convenient time, for us to open up more, at least, or even Sunday, open up one fully, and then as we go more.
Yep.
So I'll talk to him and see what we gotta do.
Yeah, all we need is a plan to throw on the
Yep,
website.
I'll come up with that tomorrow. I'll talk to John, and, we'll make that happen. So officially, John's in charge.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm filling in for Leon, who stepped down, so that's officially how it is, so
But you're still part of it, so.
what's that?
You're still a big part of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, but I will just, we'll go that route.
It's pretty easy to manage a dam when you don't have to do any gate changes. It's like, okay, but anyway,
We were to,
it was tough.
we were on the 30th, we may still maintain on the 30th, that's the update is, we were gonna get and trim some of that tree, shrubs and stuff. Excuse me, John and I were gonna do some of that work on the 30th, so. And I thought maybe we get the picnic tables out. Yeah.
Picnic tables are gone, I got those out today.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah, but I didn't get the trash can.
okay.
You know why?
Why?
I didn't feel like it.
No, you don't have to do everything.
I just didn't feel like lifting it into the goddamn back of the truck. I said, that's it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I
At
thought-
least today.
it was on the agenda, I thought we talked about it, made a plan to do it on the 30th when we were all together.
No worries, I figured I'd get them done today. so.
Okay, so, are we good with, item 9, boat landing and dam staff?
I could have come down last month too and talked about it, cause I was concerned, but I thought, no, it'll go, yeah, no, so.
Did you have anything, cause you were the one who asked me to put that on the agenda, did you have anything?
I think that's because we talked about it prior to.
Okay,
No, I just think it's something that we need to, we have an assessors meeting, we always need to have a conversation about it, just to,
okay.
make sure that
Always a
we're on the
dam
same
report.
page, that's all.
Yeah.
Usually.
So with that being said, John and I, and maybe Daryl, depending on, what we come up with, but he might take his excavator and pluck some of them bigger trees out around the edge,
Right,
to get that, tame that down, cause it's getting out of hand,
yeah,
so.
and all they get pretty,
What's that?
they get pretty.
Yeah.
Straight.
Okay, so citizens' comments, we've checked that off, we're good.
Sharon, any comments?
None, thank you.
So we'll move on to the acceptance of the meeting, of the minutes. I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes as written.
Second?
All in favor? Okay. Tax collectors report.
Taxes are coming in pretty rapidly. I've deposited about 130,000 in taxes so far. I have another big stack that I have to do this week. And have not received the NECC portion yet. No.
You must have
Coming
known
in
I was
nicely.
gonna ask.
And they're due 11/28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's still a little more time.
I saw that my bank had taken mine out of my escrow account already, so they obviously are paying attention more than I am.
And so, yeah, we still have 10 days,
I'm
but
pretty
it's
sure it's
flowing
on
in
the 20.
nicely.
Good.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we accept the tax collectors report.
Second?
Favor? All right, the treasurer's report.
I'm gonna start by, sending these warrants around, so there's 3 of them, and
What is it, 3 warrants? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
So 2 of them are BMV, and I think one of the BMV ones might have, some of that registry of deed thing, anyway.
So those are ones that I think have been paid because it's money that we owe the state and one person signs off on them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've
I'm
put
pretty sure that's
stickies
what those-
on these 2 where you need to sign, but basically, almost every one of the invoices in here needs to be signed. So
Okay.
you'll just have to go
I'll
through
listen to that.
and sign the warrant. Yep. Okay,
I'm gonna look at these ones.
so the consolidation of our accounts has occurred. And, let's see. We had a reconciliation training with Mark, yesterday, Denise and I did. And so that now we have just that, our main checking account and the sweep account. I wanted to, because we're, paying our county tax in this warrant, I just wanted to make sure that we basically had enough money in our town checking account. So I've given you a printout of recent transactions from Skowhegan Savings Bank. And the consolidation took place on 11/13, so on 11/12, we had $256,316.99, and then when all those, other accounts were deposited into the main checking account, it ended up with a $664,553.34 balance. And I was talking to Mark and I said, you know, because the budgeting and these accounts are not in Trio yet, he's working on that. So I said I wanted to verify with you guys and make sure that you're comfortable with paying the county tax, because we're already 18 days late, which is almost $500 in interest. So.
I thought we talked about that last meeting, and we were gonna pay it.
We didn't have the money.
We talked about
We
it,
didn't
we
have the
said
money?
we were gonna talk about it in the November
Oh, okay.
meeting, because we didn't have enough money.
Gotcha.
So basically, what Mark was saying, and I've given you the statement that he emailed to me, and said, we have been borrowing from ourselves for forever, basically. And so our reserves are supposed to be, like, for instance, we're supposed to have, every year that we raise money for the school, that's not supposed to be in the general fund, it's supposed to be in reserve
It's dedicated, right?
It's dedicated for schools. So, you can see his summary, he said, and
I don't
essentially.
have that, do I?
You do.
Is it-
It has,
is it this
it has a little green dot, yes, that back sheet.
Oh, just a
So
little-
we're $198,000 negative in our town checking account theoretically, if we take into consideration what we're supposed to have in reserves. And this has been an ongoing issue, and so we are tasked with trying to rectify that for, you know, this year spend as little as we can, and, you know, include that as a, you know, in our budgeting for next year, to try to eventually be in, you know, not in the red, but have a
I
balance.
understand that reserve. So, are you, and Justin, or is it just Justin, keeping a list of what we need to put on our annual budget?
Well, he thinks, when we talked to Mark yesterday, he wants us to start budgeting like January 1st.
I understand that.
And so-
No, so what my point is we need to put this on the agenda to talk about during the annual meeting. This needs to come up so we can start raising money or putting money aside for this purpose.
I thought we've already raised this money.
We raised,
So
we did raise money for
For the
this year.
school,
Yes, but
so we should have this money, the 333,000, right? Cause it's already been raised.
well, it has been raised, but it's been spent on other things. So,
So the school account has not always had its own,
no, so
Account,
this is,
no,
no, what Mark said is when we raise money for the school budget. So
Mhm.
this past year, we raised $30,325 or something like that. Last year was similar amount, except I think it was $200 less. That money is supposed to be in reserve,
It's dedicated, you're not supposed to spend it on anything else.
and we've never really, you know, put that money
It's never
aside
been
in the
secluded.
reserve. Pardon me?
It's never been secluded,
Right,
separate.
right,
It's always been in the general pool.
right.
I think, you know, it's really hard for me to understand, not being an accountant, but I think basically what it kinda gets down to is it's not that the town doesn't have enough financial resources, we have money, it's just in the wrong places. You know, too much has been
explained it.
dedicated to certain things, and we have no liquidity, is kind of the best way for me to
Yeah,
think about it.
He explained it very well in that email.
Okay.
It's pretty, you know, and then he listed the reserves that we are required to have.
Well, that was where I was trying to talk about, was the reserve part of it.
Yeah,
All right.
so it's basically, it's been an ongoing issue. We're trying to get to a point where you know,
Mhm.
where the reserves are met and our expenses are met. But,
Well, my point is, it needs to come up during the annual meeting, and to discuss that this is how we're gonna start to
Rectify.
rectify
yes,
this situation, and start
yes,
funneling that money, if you will,
yes.
into that reserve account, so they can see the accounting part of it, that we're not, we need to just move money this direction for that reason. That's all I was trying to say. It needs to go on that list of stuff that, so we can talk about it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, who's making the list is what you're
That's
asking.
what was my question.
Okay,
Who's
I
making the
gotcha.
list, so we can
Yeah.
add that to
Justin
that
had been,
list?
but I mean, he's not here.
Well,
so.
see, to me, keeping all these things in a separate account was the way of not spending it, but now it's all lumped together. So now there's,
So
like
it's
a
in
fault.
budgeting though, that, it's in Trio that
Mhm.
you're separating the money, it doesn't
Right, okay.
matter
So
that it's in a.
Trio's keeping it in
It's not
separate accounts.
separated in the bank
Exactly.
account.
It's like Trio's the bank keeping it in separate
That's what I was-
accounts.
That's
right.
Yes,
But
exactly.
is there like a warning
Still
that's gonna
online.
tell you?
So that was the question that we were asking, and we didn't go, we did reconciliation yesterday, we didn't do budgeting.
Right.
And so what Mark said was that he's going to create these budgets in Trio, and then he's going to record that so that we can, pay him through the training that we raised, because we've already run out of money to pay.
Right, and
We've gone
technically,
through
that's
the-
what we're doing, we're training.
That's right.
We are
yes.
training, so he's recording what he's doing with the budgeting piece in Trio, so that we can, use
See what he
that.
did and how he did it.
Yeah, so he already sent us today, he sent us, a video of what we did yesterday, as well as a transcript of it, and then, yeah, so that's.
I think,
Can I just ask you a question about that school thing?
Mm-hmm.
So last year we raised another $30,000 for that.
Mhm.
But if we have all of this money in that school account, why are we continuing this year to raise money?
We
for-
probably don't need to.
We do, that was my question.
Yes.
Can we use that?
In
It can
fact-
only be used for that though, right?
in fact, I've done a little bit of research, and I would like to throw it out there, this is a good time as any. I don't know why we even belong to a school district. We don't have any kids, we're not required to do it, we're raising,
Remember, we asked MMA that,
Yep.
and what they said was that they weren't comfortable making a decision because then it affects other towns around us.
Okay.
So that we aren't contributing to, the school board, whatever, and then it puts
well,
more
we pay
of a
for
burden
the
on.
liability insurance, we pay part of,
Okay.
Regina's
It's a-
salary.
Yeah, it might be a school board decision.
Could be.
I don't know that it's a.
Well,
board
it's not
decision.
my decision.
No, no, I understand.
But certainly, we don't need to raise another 30,000. We have
No.
enough money in there, at least assign 305,000 to pay for school for
A lot of years.
all the kids that don't live
So
here.
we-
That's
I
right.
just,
We have
we
to
don't need
raise
to keep
the
raising money,
salaries.
we've raised more than we,
Well, especially when we don't have any money anyway. I mean,
right,
that
it's
seems
just,
like one area that we could definitely
absolutely, shift.
cut back, right?
Yeah, I think that we need to raise their salaries,
lose it, though.
Regina's and the school boards.
Okay, it's just, again, it's not my decision, I'm
No,
just
I
kind of like,
understand that,
but
but
part
that
of it
makes
is like,
sense,
so
I
then we
just
would
wanna make
just
sure I
be-
understood that correctly.
be, passing or raising enough money to pay her salary, the liability insurance, and the school board salaries.
Right,
It's like $6,000 a
Right.
year as opposed to 30.
30,
That's
which
right.
is
If
going
set
into
aside
reserves,
30, you
but,
spend 6, you should have that much left over.
right,
And then you
But-
can't use it for anything else, so
right, but
it
it has
is
been being
locked
used
up.
for other things,
Yeah.
because it wasn't in a separate account, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Should be
Yeah.
So,
carried over.
anyway, it's,
right,
a lot of it is,
well,
kind
going forward,
of
that
complicated
makes sense.
municipal accounting,
Right,
um,
Right.
and, Mark's been a big help,
right,
but it's still a lot of it, at least for me, is,
right, but Trio would control that
Yes.
somewhat,
Yes.
because you can't take money out of that budget,
That's right.
that
Right.
budgeted amount, if it's not going for that kind of an expense.
Right.
That's right.
So that,
And I don't know, to answer your question, Denise, I don't know if there are any alerts, and that's what that's the question that I asked Mark yesterday. But we were closing up on time, and anyway.
Excellent.
I gave you guys, I was talking to my son about our audit that was like 39 pages, the 2023 audit. And it was just a lot of, you know, legalese language
Yeah.
and difficult to, you know, to get through it. And so he goes, well, send it to me and we'll put it in AI and get them to summarize it. And we went through it like 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 iterations. And then he said, then we talked about, just put it in plain English. And so, that's what I gave you guys. I thought it might be like a really interesting,
Right.
it's just a tidbit of information that just, we fed that audit into AI and.
So that's what it is, so
It
you know,
spit out
Awesome.
just
it's not like, you know,
no, it's
Right.
not, it's nothing official. I
Right.
just thought you guys might be interested in it.
cause that audit report of 2023, I think even if you're an accountant, it makes your eyes bleed trying to
Yeah.
read that thing.
Is that what Smith's last, Smith's
Yes.
last?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have not finished. Supposedly by the end of this year, like, calendar year,
Yeah.
they're gonna finish 24, although we have heard 0 from them.
Yeah,
Um,
which is typical, which they've been doing for 5 years.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
So, another thing was the county tax payment. Again, I said that it was $496.67, for interest for 18 days, so, I recommend that we are paying that right now.
I signed it.
Yeah, good,
Awesome.
okay,
Just so everybody's prepared, we got that road bond coming up probably pretty quick. We'll be hearing from Ryan Flowing here pretty soon. I'm hopeful I don't have to drive a check to Newport this year.
That's it for treasurer's report.
Okay. Just, we need to make a note that that gets brought up and discussed during the annual, that's all, I just wanna make sure that happens.
Okay,
Is it possible in your copy of that?
copy of the audit?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll have to find where that.
Well, we have it by email, it just
Yes, I know,
forwarded but yeah.
Well, you could email it to me if you want, if you don't have to print it,
okay,
that's fine.
I will do that. Do I have your email address? I probably do.
Yeah, somewhere, but I can do
Yeah, if you don't mind,
the same one.
All right, I make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report.
Second,
Favor? All right, clerk's report.
okay, a few housekeeping things, you know, I don't know if it's appropriate that I do this, but I work here, so I'm gonna do it. The front doorknob was replaced this morning, by Charlie. The gym is.
same code.
So everyone knows that the, gym is open now. What, we had a discussion whether or not, Charlie found a doorknob that was still in a package, has a couple keys attached to it. Do we want to replace a doorknob in the event that somebody has a key that they haven't signed a release
I
and
see
that
what
they
you're
just.
I think we
Release.
should do that, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a doorknob, and keys, but so then, if that's
So
the case,
We'd have to reissue keys to,
then we.
but we gotta
people
reissue
listen.
permission slips anyway.
Right,
It's
that's when
been
they
so
get the
long,
key.
I don't even know if people can find.
So I think that's a good idea.
I used to have a key, but I don't anymore.
So,
I think that's a good idea.
but
So
there's a new lock, new lock set and a key, so.
We
Okay,
just gotta
but like, tomorrow, I'm pretty sure Barbara is gonna come in for a key, and if I, you know, I could give her one of the old ones for temporarily.
That's what I do for right
Okay.
now, I'm not, I can change it, but I'm not.
I like a key.
Then we're gonna get
Brandon
all
still
the
have a
copies.
key making right over there, they used to.
They have various
Yeah,
short on mine.
Somebody has to go down and make a deposit anyway, we
Okay.
just got a
Run the
tax payment
staples
in
and-
cash, so, you know, whatever, I could go down and get
you did that, just get some
Yeah.
copies. of
That's
the-
what I'm saying, go down and make a cash deposit, maybe tomorrow before I come in here and work with the.
Break open that new thing, grab that key and get,
Yeah,
whatever, 10
okay,
copies.
yep, okay.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
So plowing out front, we just had that handicap area all fixed up nice so that it complied with state regulations. And it was, there's a big mound of it over there. First of all, I don't think it needed to be plowed. Can we just, I'm not even sure who's plowing it, but can we ask whoever's plowing it not to do it till the ground is frozen?
We can, it was Andy that plowed it, and, and that's what happens when you plow this time of year. He was sorry about it, but, the bottom line is that we can ask him not to hit this again until it freezes up. But it's pretty much, the whole thing was ridiculous to begin with, that we had to put it in, and as soon as it was put in, I knew it was gonna end up in the snowbank.
Right.
So you can talk to the
Well-
ADA and the goddamn Secretary of State about that.
It's supposed to be that
I guess in
recycled
Why-
the
pavement.
spring, we'll have to
It's-
have somebody rake it back.
It's supposed to not move though, that recycled pavement is supposed to be.
Even if that was solid pavement,
It
okay,
would.
it would be in the snowbank
It
right
would.
now.
All right,
And so I'm just saying, it's one of those things, I mean,
No,
you can
we appreciate the
ask
concern, but,
Andy not to plow again until it gets hard,
and I don't think that's
but it's pretty much par for the course.
yeah.
But they do have a handicap ramp that's all covered with ice and snow. You can't fleece it, I mean, you can't win.
it's true, but we only had, 3 inches of snow?
Whatever, it's, on that note, Kevin is gonna be doing the shoveling and snow blowing.
Okay,
this
good.
year.
And maybe we can, add that to just the shoveling and snow blowing of that section, and just ask Andy to clip it.
I'm sure he'd do that, he's gotta do the pass of the fuel anyway.
Right.
And have Andy just push the snow that way and leave that unscathed.
So,
Have him do that and around the generator maybe a little bit, like that whole little
Have
area.
Kevin do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a
are
great
are
idea.
there snow shovels out in the garage?
I guess so. I mean,
'Cause,
Kevin
I mean, today
shovels
I
snow or
used that
something.
metal shovel to, shovel off the walkway because we have a meeting and I feel like it's something that needed to be done. If there's a snow shovel, that would be awesome.
I have no idea what Kevin uses, he's gonna start doing it from this point forward, so
Okay,
if he needs a shovel, he'll let us know. I'm sure.
okay, I mean, tonight, there wasn't a lot of snow, but if somebody slept, it would not be a good thing. Thank you.
I'll talk to Andy if you wanna talk to Kevin. Charlie?
Yeah.
I gotta talk to Andy anyways about other stuff, so.
Heat in the office, I just wanted to say that, Denise and I were in yesterday, and it took almost like 3 hours for the heat to come up. I feel like in that little office, we should just leave the heat on. In this room, put it down to 50 when we aren't using it. But we're in there often enough, I think, that it seems like it would be okay. I put it at 68, and I think we should leave it if everyone's okay with that.
What about this room here, we're gonna have to keep this heated to something, right? 'Cause you
Well-
never know when people are gonna come in, we can't have it
Right.
Well,
50.
they're exercising us, cause
It's
it's
always
always them
turned
warm.
Supposed to turn it down when you leave.
Oh, is that how it works, and then turn it?
It's on the wall.
Okay.
There are instructions.
No, if they don't.
I don't have an
Just
issue
don't
with
have
that, I mean, everybody's a little bit different, I came in here today to work, and I felt like taking all my clothes off the minute I walked into that office.
It was cold yesterday,
Jesus
wasn't it,
Christ.
Denise?
Yes.
So, I don't know.
Anyway,
Can't have the girls cold.
I'm not gonna,
we wanna keep that space at
I don't see
68, it's good, I'm pretty sure it was like on 75 when I went in there.
Well, that's because I think I did that,
We turned it up
because it wasn't
It's
working.
not gonna get hot any
It
quicker.
doesn't get
No.
hot any faster.
No, it-
No. We had this discussion in our office.
Oh, good.
all right, is there anything else
Anyway.
on the clerk's report?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Dog licensing is available online right now. And it's reflected on our website, so there's a link to the state website where you can go online and do it, or you can come in, and that is also reflected on our website. Everything with the election is done, as far as my responsibilities, and I just wanted to, say that the ballot clerks were awesome. They were counted and out of here by, in like 15 minutes.
Excellent.
So I thought that they did a really good job. Tax Solutions of Maine, they still haven't completed the migration from the current website to the Microsoft.gov website. I talked to them last week about it, and.
This is gonna be seamless, right?
I need to call them and really pin them down to a schedule, because when we
Is this
first talked
the
about.
email addresses, or what is this?
It's the website is
A
going to
website,
go
okay.
from where, the one that Peter is managing, to a .gov website that is supposed to be more secure, and anyway.
And then our emails go to, instead
And
of
our email
.org,
is,
to
that's right,
.gov, right?
That's
Something like
correct.
that.
yes. And so it will be just the way it was when we all, originally, that one email that we used to have, that got forwarded, for 6 or
Months. Yeah.
however many months, it got forwarded, everything that landed in that it stayed there, and it got copied into the new email address.
The office address.
And that will be the same way that this will have to. Is it painful? Yeah, I agree with you guys about that, but, they think it's a more secure thing, we hired them, I'm not gonna argue with them,
I know, but we're not a huge municipality. All this extra work and, time, that and security headaches that we'll go through to swap over. This would be the third time we've changed, second time we've changed.
Well, they don't think that the, Google Workspace is a secure site, so they want to migrate that to a, Microsoft Outlook. And, I agree with that. I mean, Google Workspace is, look, we hired them, and then you tasked me and Justin to do this, and
Yep.
that's what the decisions that were made, and so that's where we are.
Okay.
So
I think the only thing, I just wanna make certain that it's not a huge disruptive
exactly.
situation.
No,
Where the
and
town
I-
shuts down for a month because nobody's getting
Of
emails,
course.
we can't send emails,
Look.
we can't print anything. I'm
Of
just saying,
course.
I'm not putting the pressure on
And
you, but
for,
that's
Same
kind
with
of,
the bank migration, it was seamless, it has been,
Okay.
so I understand that we can't have disruptions, and Denise mentioned yesterday that she, signs into, a bunch of websites using emails.
Yeah.
And that it's not that easy to change those emails and to change your user name and email, so
I go through the
I'll
same
have
thing.
that conversation with them tomorrow when I'm in here, and just say, just express our concerns, cause I definitely agree with you guys on that one.
Sometimes I
So-
just feel like we're changing everything at once, and it's, I don't know, I guess it's just overwhelming to some of us. I mean, you're very tech savvy, so to you, it's no big deal, but to me, when I come in, I wanna get stuff done, I don't wanna sit here for hours
I know.
about an email. I still can't even get into the treasurer email from the switch from last time, because I know there was a comment, oh, do you read your emails regularly? Well, I can't get into it.
You can hear though.
Nope. Cannot.
I still go to Evan.
I
No, not
cannot.
here,
No, I cannot get into the treasurer's email.
on this, I can, it's the same as the tax collector.
I know.
All those, you just touch
I will
that.
show you sometime.
Okay. You, it's, I get into it all the time.
I
now.
know, you do.
But
I
it's
know.
the same password, it's the
I
same
know it
process.
is.
Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
I don't,
No,
I
I'm just
can't
saying,
understand how
I
that
can't
is.
Well, maybe
either.
the change will work.
Yes.
Okay, and then this is my last
But I'm
one.
really not ignoring my emails, I just can't get into it.
This, my last thing is, last month, we talked about the BMV module, for Trio would be, you know, that you guys gave me the green light to, initiate it on November 1st, and I haven't done that because, I don't know who's gonna be the BMV agent in July, and whether or not, you know, we need to start looking for somebody pretty much right now. And whether or not we want the BMV module, and, you know, if I was gonna be here, I would totally want Trio. And I think it makes the process, less subject to making mistakes. That's my opinion.
But you're not gonna be here next year.
I am not gonna be here
Okay.
next year.
But we can't hire
So
somebody
we don't
for
want-
6
then
months.
Don't start the BMV, module, don't,
Doesn't make any sense to me to start it.
No.
Right now, anyway.
Okay,
we'll set that money aside, cause it's already been,
Raised.
raised for the incoming person.
okay, well,
And
that,
if we can't find anyone, it may have to go out again, I don't know.
that's a subject that's coming up here for whatever, item number 10. So, anyway, we'll talk about that then, but.
All right, is that
So
on the tax?
I'm done
so-
with my
Clerk?
clerk's report.
All right. All right, make a motion, we accept the clerk's report.
Second.
All in favor? All right, tax map status.
All I can say is that this is a pretty, time-consuming process. And I'm hopeful that by the end of our fiscal year, which is June 30th, that we will have, a new set of tax maps that are as accurate as they possibly can be. There have been a multitude of issues with splits, unrecorded deeds, duplicate lot numbers, duplicate account numbers in Trio, account numbers with the same lot number on them. So in the process of doing all this, we're also updating all of the taxpayer database in Trio. So I'm just saying it's time consuming, but we're chipping away at it. And I think by June, we'll have a set of new, really, really high-end tax maps that part of this whole GIS.
Is that something you're participating in data entry, or is that all,
Oh, I'm doing all of it.
oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought
she's doing
Garnett was doing,
none of it. He doesn't have the time.
Okay.
He never responded to my request for assistance.
all right,
So I'm doing it all. The biggest issue I have right now is I've got some of these places where, the corner, the pins, you know, we don't know where they are. It's hard for her to do an accurate tax map,
yeah,
or do lots if she doesn't know where the starting point is.
right,
And some of these starting points are in ancient deeds and include, you know, things that live and die, and stone walls that deteriorate, and, you know, trees that die and stuff. So I've got a few of those. One of them ended up being our piece of property and our neighbor's piece of property. And then I talked to the McAllisters, and there's like this little area that nobody really knows who owns it, you know? And so we're actually, the neighbors and I, we're having our 2 lots surveyed by Sackett and Brake probably in the next couple of weeks,
okay,
because we need to figure that out. But there's still some of those out there. I can't force people to get their, piece of property surveyed,
Mhm.
and the town isn't gonna pay for it, so we will do the best we can, you know,
Right.
what we have, but it's pretty time consuming. But we've gotten a lot done.
is that something, I could help you with?
You can, no, actually, nothing personal, but you know, it's taken me a while to figure it all out. I've had a lot of stuff up in Moxie.
Yep.
But when I got to the site plan from Oxford Paper Company.
Yep.
The thing is that all of their numbers for those lots are different from the tax map
I
numbers.
know, yeah.
And then there's these hooks, and sometimes we have like, whatever, a dash, lot 001, 003, well, is it 001, 002, and 003, or is it 001 and 003? And I have to go back to the site plan and look at the original ones, and look at the deeds, and who bought them, and what was included. So I've gotten a lot of that sorted out. One thing anybody who is up on Moxie might be able to help me with, however, is, does anybody know or hear of a person by the name of Heather Pitcher? You ever heard of her? Camp owner?
That be Bob Rogers, Heather.
Heather Pitcher, she's a, I can tell you, the reason I'm asking is because this came back, and improper address, 18, 20, and 21. I don't know, I'd have to look at the map for that. I just thought I'd throw out there. I can't find her. I'm like,
Heather Pitcher, I mean, I know Bob Rogers is further down the lake than we are.
so I just thought one of you might go off and like, oh yeah, I saw her son up there last weekend or something. I just want to get her a tax bill, that's all. You know,
18, 20, I don't know.
yeah, I can't do that.
18, 20?
18, 20, and 21, I think. Now, I've looked at so many of those maps over the last couple of weeks, I mean,
Bob Rogers is down below,
That's before Bobby Slocum.
18, map 18, lot 20, dash
I
21,
think that's Bob Rogers' widow.
2.83 acres. From Wiscasset, I have a Wiscasset address.
Yes, that would be
That'd be
them.
Bob Rogers.
Bob Rogers,
Well, he passed.
Oh.
That was his widow.
okay.
Uh,
She used to own the Miss Wiscasset, but that's the last I could find.
Right, or Dinah.
Yeah, but that's the only thing.
And he used to do
I tried to find them, but I'm not spending my own money to do an internet search, and most of the time when you do, the stuff that you get is all dated and inaccurate.
that's who she is.
Huh?
That's who she is.
Bob Rogers' widow, okay, well, anybody,
Yeah, I
I
didn't
just-
know, we used to have
you know.
contact for them.
I mean, where,
I don't know if it's on the camp, when I go by the camp next time, I'll see.
it's just the taxpayer's obligation to let us know when the address changes, and she hasn't done it, I mean, I might not have remembered to do it when I moved up here, but I just thought I'd throw it out there, so,
That's who she is.
okay, thank you.
Question before I go, if you don't mind. I don't mean to interrupt on your meeting. On the website, the videos aren't posted after March. They're only listed to March.
On the website?
On the website, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And I don't know if you're still posting the meetings.
they're on the YouTube.
They're on the YouTube channel, but there's no link.
Well, there is, if you look at the minutes, I thought the minutes, I usually put a link to that.
I think I
If you
did
look
see
at the
it.
minutes of
It's
the,
not clear anyway. It's not
Okay.
clear how to find it.
I think
Alright.
I looked at that at one time, and again, there was nothing current on there,
Yeah.
but,
okay,
It says March and then there's nothing else.
okay,
Can I just see, it's for an address on
I'll address that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what was online too.
That was there's no
It's
follow
in
through.
this,
So-
it's all in the same YouTube channel though, so
Right,
it's,
I
it's
figured
the Fort
it might be, but
Plantation.
I didn't go through to look for that, cause I thought, well, maybe they stopped doing it, I didn't know. So I hadn't been there, so.
We have not.
I have nothing more to say on the tax map status.
All right, I'll make sure we
Alright,
have the
I didn't
stats
mean to-
back.
Alright,
Words.
other than that, I think I'm going to bed now.
Thank you, Sandy.
Sandy, can you just make sure I get your email address? Oh, thank you,
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, and if you get the keys to the exercise room, let me know.
I'll let you know about that as well.
I can stop by.
Yeah.
Like next Wednesday or something, if it's not tomorrow, no problem. Maybe then I have to start right away.
Get another week.
Yeah, have a good night.
Nice.
Take care, watch out for the deer.
All right, we'll move on to the CF.
I hit one 3 weeks ago.
Oh, geez.
Dead.
I don't have much to report here, other than the fact that we did get a new gate. Did you get that?
$4,000 gate.
$4,000 gate, that'll be the last gate we ever have to purchase, so. unless somebody runs into it with a plow truck or a bolster's truck. And we do have the CF, West Forks County part of the transfer station has a new hire. Carney White has been hired to be the attendant up there at this point. And you got his paperwork too.
I do, I have it right here,
Nice.
and his time sheet.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay. We'll move on to the RFP for plantation-wide reassessment.
Okay. So, having the entire plantation reassessed is something that has been in the works for a number of years here. The previous administration raised money towards it, we've raised money towards, it's dedicated for that. What Garnet told me was that we should put up put out an RFP and not just hire him.
Right.
Request for proposals.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, what does that consist of? I mean, what do I just say, you know, and how do I get it out there? So I started doing some research, and you can find, some documents on the internet from other towns that have drafted these, you know, requests for proposal for entire reassessment. It's like 6 or 7 pages, and it's pretty legalese. In my opinion, based on what I've known, we have 2 options moving forward, because I'd really like to get this done, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But, so one is either to basically take one of those and, you know, erase Clinton and put in the Forks Plantation, or probably hire an attorney to do it. I don't think it's something that the MMA can do. It's certainly not something I could sit down and draft. There are a lot of, again, it's a lot of language that I don't understand. It's very legalese. So I'm just throwing that out there right now for the board to think about how we wanna move forward with that. And I don't know if it would cost, you know, take a lawyer a lot of time. I have no idea, haven't investigated it. This is just like heads up, you know.
Can you
this is
send me
something-
that one you have from Clinton?
I have a bunch of them on the internet, but
Okay.
I can.
If you could just email me those, let me look at them, and, I can decipher a little bit of legal stuff.
Well, and the lawyer might have basically a,
Well,
Template.
yeah, I mean,
Standard
I'm just gonna
one
look
bit.
at it, and if it's written, if the language is, yeah, just let me look at it, and then
Yeah.
we'll,
I mean, I'm not inclined to reinvent the wheel
no.
No.
necessarily, or spend a lot of money reinventing the wheel.
Right.
By
but
the
I mean,
same
if you,
token, I don't
if you
wanna
had to
just,
go to the attorney, they might have a standard one that they
like,
just throw
follow the
out to
same
you
thing,
that
just a straight.
charge you $100 or
Right.
something.
So
They
I'll-
may.
I will get you those, you can take a
I just
look
wanna
at
take a
it.
quick look at it
Yeah.
before we, and then we can, certainly check it out, cause I need to
Right.
speak with the lawyer too, in December as well, so, we can hit him up for a couple of different items.
That's good, yeah.
I need to get the
And did they review the, liability release for the,
yes.
that's good, that's all done then.
That's
Yes,
all.
it is, yeah, that's been done.
Super.
So that's where we are with that, did the go ahead, so that's all I have to say about
Okay,
the RFP.
all right, so you'll send me that,
Yep.
and, we'll look at it, and we'll.
Decide how we wanna move forward with
Yeah,
that, yep.
yeah, just let me, just a second set of eyes to put on it, that's all, there you go. All right, well, we'll skip number 9, because we've already talked about it, and we'll go, number 10, posting positions and training for new fiscal year. I mean, that's 7 months away, why, I understand.
Well, but just because, like, you know, we were talking with Mark, and, you know, if we don't have somebody that is in here that kind of knows what they're doing,
Well, I realize that, but, so we won't, I'll just, touch on that a little bit. So we asked the people to make these appointed positions, and we're going
Yes.
to appoint them this next round.
Yep.
So, if we start talking about this now, 7 months prior to, we don't even know if we have any candidates, whoever's interested in it. So we can't do anything until then.
So, just the BMV agent, as a for instance.
Yep.
It takes, you know, they're working for 6 months. If it's a new person,
I
they
realize
have to
that,
go through training, and so.
we know that, but you
Okay.
can't start early.
Because how are we gonna pay these people? We
You
can't have them
No, I
come
have
in.
to give them part of.
So,
what I'm saying.
unfortunately, this is the way the system's set up. We don't have the, the luxury of bringing somebody in and training them, you know, for a half a year or 3 months or whatever prior to, because we just can't pay them, and it's not part of what the town has, the people have allowed us to do. The people are paying you and paying you and paying me until the end of June, and then they'll pay somebody else to do
I
it.
can hire a deputy though, and pay him out of my own salary.
You could do that, yeah?
And I would be willing to do that
Yeah.
to ease the burden on the town, because I feel like in June, at the end of June, and again, Charlie and I are not gonna go scorched earth, but, you know, I don't know how else to say this, but we do a lot, and so when we aren't here, there's gonna be a void, and I would like to feel comfortable that that the town is not gonna have to deorganize, because of that void. And that, you know, if we have, you know, at town meeting, all of a sudden now Charlie and I are not gonna be working, and so the next day might be a BMV day, or might be a day that, I don't know,
We'll
But I
figure it
think
out,
that's happened many times.
and we'll figure it out.
Unfortunately, that's how,
That's the way it's set up.
yeah.
I would interject one
Yeah,
thing.
somebody else.
You can't imagine how many people I hired in February or March to start working at the beginning of the season. And by the time, and knowing that this is when they would start.
And they go somewhere else.
Well, yeah, they're gone. They don't even come the first day because they already got different jobs.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing.
And splitting your BMV salary would not be appealing to somebody to come in and work for $200 and something a month and be here every Wednesday. That would not be appealing for me as like a person who has to work to make money, like to pay bills. Like I know a lot of people do it in retirement, you know, like Lloyd, and he enjoys it. So money isn't really an issue, but a lot of people have to do jobs to make money to work to pay bills, and coming in every day, every Wednesday from 1 to 5 and then doing reports. So really you're here earlier and you're here later, and then we're only gonna pay you $200 a month. I mean, that's just,
yeah.
as a person who has to work to pay bills, that's not appealing.
Yeah. And I appreciate the fact that you guys, you are looking out for the best interests in the town, and the conductive continuity, if you will, going forward. And part of that, I think we've addressed with hiring Mark and hiring Garnett and helping with a lot of that part of it. But the other stuff that, our hands are tied. We can't do that until, and even if we brought somebody else in and they, like Sharon said, they may not wanna do, you know, so you're wasting all that time and energy. You gotta get somebody to come in, and then we'll start looking for somebody in the spring, but I don't think it's a topic to start talking about in 7 months out.
How do you go about the appointment? Do you, advertise that?
We're gonna have to, yeah.
And then people
Apply.
send a letter to you saying if they're interested?
To me, the whole appointment thing is not a good word, hiring.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Just, you know,
exactly,
Right.
it's just like hiring.
just like anything, you
And that's
post a
what-
job, but we're gonna have
But I
to,
think you have to
That's what the
redo
West
that
Forks
every
did with
year.
Denise.
They have to be sworn in every year, so it is a little different than hiring, but it's essentially
It is,
hiring.
it is, but it assures the continuity.
When I
Right.
worked for, Madison, I had to be sworn in
Yeah,
after every town.
And that will
meeting,
happen,
right,
Even though I was.
that will happen, so, I think that's a discussion that we start looking at maybe in March, but not.
Not in November.
We know you're
We
excited,
know you're excited, we know you wanna leave,
we
and,
know you want out.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
She
so.
just doesn't
well,
wanna
we
see
are
it
going to
fall
have to
apart.
start
I
thinking
don't,
about if
and
we're,
I want,
You
I
both
want
come so
systems
far,
to-
all of you
yeah.
have come so far, and you've made such a, all of you have made such a personal investment in it.
Yep,
Yeah.
and that's the,
Charlie, you had something you wanna say to start looking at?
No.
No? Okay. All right, 11, cleaning services and light fixtures, did we have somebody that we?
That was Denise who wanted that in there.
Yeah, I don't know if we have to, how we do this, but the lights in the gym, literally you cannot even see them. So I didn't know if, like, if somebody, if we have some, I don't know, like Daryl, for instance, Kevin, I don't know if we have somebody who does maintenance that would wanna do that lovely job.
Just
But-
replacing light bulbs?
No, like
Oh,
the
oh.
flies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There were like an inch of
Oh.
flies in the light fixtures, those
I-
long
yeah,
long
The
ones.
fluorescent bulb ones, right?
Yeah, and they just keep dropping.
Yeah, oh, they're awful.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an inch thick, so
Yeah.
I didn't know if.
Yeah.
I don't know who that would be.
Yeah, that's what I was
I do
thinking.
know that I have hired, Teresa Bork to be the housekeeper.
Okay,
She's
that was-
on board, she's got the paperwork.
Yes, I see that. Maybe she
and-
wants to do it.
And she probably would, but she'd need help here, somebody's gonna.
Yeah,
Right.
you need a ladder, you need like
She
two
was here
people.
today.
Well, and I think
And
once
put in
it's
2.5 hours and, you know,
Mhm.
so, 3 to 5, she did 2.5 once a month, so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I can talk to her about that, but she's gonna have to have somebody here with her, you know, be up,
Yeah.
and they're gonna have to be up on a ladder. I don't know if we have a step ladder big enough, that's what you need, is a step
I
ladder.
don't even know what they look
They're
like.
pretty high up.
Yeah.
This one you could get with a standard step ladder, or, you know, but this is be one of those ones like Craig Fisher has, those, you know,
I have
10,
some
11
of
foot
those,
trucks.
It's just when you're laying there and like
Yeah.
doing exercises and you look up, it's like,
Yeah.
ooh.
You need to close your mouth, because it'll drop in.
But Teresa did a nice job here today.
Good.
Great, that's good,
That's good.
I look forward to meeting her.
Yeah.
And will that person take on cleaning that?
Yeah.
Too?
Well, not, I don't know about the lights, but they're cleaning.
No,
With help.
but just the gym, yeah.
Oh,
Did
she
you-
did clean the gym today.
Oh,
She
good.
asked me if she she asked me, and I said, yeah.
Oh, good.
I had to, she came here to do it last evening, but she couldn't get in because of the lock,
Oh,
so she
yeah.
left. So I went up and got her this morning, came down, dropped her off, did the picnic tables, and came back and changed the lock,
Oh, good,
so that she's not locked out,
good.
so. So
When me
I
and
was here.
Susan were locked out, it was fine, but now Teresa.
Well, you had keys, you know, and I just don't wanna keep giving keys out, it's not the
You had to sort of
solution.
jimmy around with the key.
Keys were
The
a pain
key
in the
was
ass.
difficult.
It was, I'm
I
just
couldn't
kidding.
believe how difficult they were.
Oh,
I got it
this is
in there, I got it
so
unlocked, and I couldn't get the key out.
Oh,
Right,
this is
My whole
see?
chain is stuck
Finally,
here.
we've been saying this for how
You
long?
have to
Right.
open your mouth.
So
to straighten
Charlie was
them out.
like, I don't have any issues with it.
Yeah, well, I started to, and then Teresa
Yeah.
did, so I replaced it today. It works good, and it's the same code.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'll look at that, I have a ladder at home or at work,
Even if you just dropped it off,
okay?
and
There
then,
might be a ladder, isn't there one in the
I
garage?
don't even know
Not
how
that
you get
tall, I
the
don't think.
things off.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll look at them too, I don't know. I'm just pressed, my time thing is my
I know.
thing, I got. Yeah, so. Okay, we'll move on to, old business. I have, just one, and that's sand and salt. So, talking with Andy and Ed at the town, at the DOT garage, we're missing, we seem to be missing a couple of slips or loads that got arrived, because the numbers aren't jiving between, what New England Salt says they sent us and what the DOT has for information and what we have for information on how much. We have a surplus of, I can't even find the page here, Andy's thing. And the DOT thinks we have a deficit, so it looks like we're missing a couple of, loads, or slips anyways.
Wasn't that in the town book, how much we spent on sand and salt?
It was, yes,
and I've sent you all the slips that I could find,
well, yeah.
you know what I mean,
Yes, but I wanted to know if it was in trio or not, if we could just pull it up, or if I gotta call New England and have sent over another copy of it. Why can't I find it?
Well, the information in the town book was taken from Creo, and I
Okay.
don't think we had any,
So that's right over here? We got
Yes.
another copy right there,
Yeah.
perfect.
it's
Alright.
in the treasurer's report, and it has those, it
Okay.
has it listed, exactly how much we spent for that vendor. So,
So with that being said, that's where, that lands. We have had 2 loads show up already. They would be getting the slips for that.
Now, does anyone remember when Caratunk used to use ours? Does that not happen anymore?
Keeps track of its own stuff.
it uses the same,
Pile, but they keep track
Right.
of how much they order and how much they use separate from us.
I have,
Hopefully how come they just don't get their own pile?
cause they don't have a shed, it has to be under a shed.
Everybody uses that same pile, right?
Yeah, this seems like it could be kinda,
State uses it, West Forks uses it, no, West Forks doesn't have any, Blue Forks and Caraton.
Are you finding it, Dave? Do you want me to?
seems like a lot of,
There's like it's, as I recall, it's down in the bottom left-hand side of where the sand and salt.
Oh,
is.
yeah. Yeah, it just gives a number.
Double dipping.
yeah,
Right, that's what I'm saying, it just gives a number, but that's
Total.
what we spent last year.
17, yep.
is that the same number that you had?
I had tonnage, I didn't have amounts.
Yeah, so did the amount change, was it whatever, however much it is per ton?
It changed for this fiscal, this,
Right,
season
but did
month.
it last,
no, I
So-
gotta find that. number.
74 point something
Was it
dollar,
74?
some, 74 and
76.
change per ton last year.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, where, we have the Charlie. I hate these phones. So, anything else while I look this up?
Yeah. And the new business?
Old
no,
business.
old business?
Oh, nothing to old.
Do you wanna have him jump to new while you're doing that, Dave?
You can, yep.
Well, it's not really a prepared speech, but I think, Susan's made it pretty clear, and I'm gonna make it clear that after, June, or in the June town meeting, I'm not gonna be running for second assessor again. There are a lot of reasons for that, I don't think I need to get into them. We can talk about that over a beer or in a different, venue. But I am very concerned about the future of the plantation. And the reason I am is because I don't see that we have the wherewithal within this community to continue to move forward or to even maintain equilibrium. I feel pretty certain that when I get done on June 30th, that the financial picture with the assistance of Mark is likely to move forward in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
The tax maps, and the TRIO database is a priority of mine. I'd like to leave office knowing that that is as good as it can possibly be done. And I'd like to get the plantation reassessment piece, the RFP, to total reassessment. I'd like to get that, buttoned up and on the way. But I really don't know, when I just look at the demographics of our town, I look at the, population, the fact is, and I know Denise, the lawyers mentioned it to you, that running these little small towns because of the demands of the state and federal government, state primarily, is not an easy job anymore. The arrival of technology, makes it very difficult for people who are not technologically oriented, such as myself. And I just don't look at our community and say, who is going to, and I don't wanna say this like, you know,
No,
oh, I'm not replaceable, cause I don't believe anybody is
No,
irreplaceable. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is plant a seed about who in this community is gonna, you know, step up and get more involved. I just don't see, you know, I've had two prominent business owners I've overheard in the last 2 months say, we should just turn the town over to the state.
I don't think we
And
want that.
deorganize. That's not my decision,
No,
but I know
because
that
we're
that's.
gonna be paying mill rate on what the state and what the county, we're gonna be paying their mill rate.
Right, which
Which
was
is
0.05 last year, but they also went through a complete reassessment, so
Yeah.
Our
the
taxes
values
went
of
up
all those properties,
in our unorganized territory.
it went up, right? The value
No.
went up,
Our taxes went down
they did,
on both pieces of, property in unorganized townships.
right? And I'm just planting a seed here, because I really don't know, and it's not up to me, which direct, you know, how is this
Right,
town gonna,
right.
if we're gonna self-govern, then, you know,
You
I
have
just-
tax advantages, right?
I'm trying to figure out a path towards doing that successfully. And I'm just concerned that we don't have the horses. We
Well,
don't
I have
have
a
the
question that,
expertise, we don't have the interest, we
Right.
don't have everything, and this includes me too. I struggle with this.
right,
I spent an hour trying to send a download to the map person today because it wouldn't attach. I didn't know why it didn't attach. Next thing I know, I'm in
That's
some
why it's sometimes
know,
you gotta keep things simple. I know
Google
everybody
workspace.
wants this and wants that,
yeah,
but
but they're not
sometimes.
allowing you to
can't.
keep it simple
You
because
can't,
they
the demands of
demanded
the
it be
state
sent
and the
that
federal
way.
government,
You can't do it anymore.
the days of somebody sitting down with a
You
pencil
can't do it.
and a piece of graph
And you
paper
can't drive
are
it to
over.
their office anymore, they don't want it that way, they
And you-
want it on.
No, you can't even fax anything anymore, faxes
No,
are like
no.
The
gone.
thing is that evolution is evolving, you don't devolve.
Right,
You
that's,
don't we're not going back to the horse and buggies.
that's right,
You
that's
know,
right.
I mean,
Because the
you
engine
don't,
is too hard to maintain,
right,
that's
I'm just saying, it's, you
Right.
know, you have to.
Yeah,
And I don't really
I'm
think
finding
that
that
it's
in our
realistic to
business.
think that, you know, a person with a pencil with a big eraser and a bunch of, you know, spreadsheets are going to be able to meet the expectations not only the taxpayers have, but that the state has, and, to some degree, the federal government, but it's more the state, you know?
exactly.
So,
Well,
I'm just trying to plant a seed because,
right,
and I'm not crying the blues about how
No,
much
no.
work I put in.
No,
I've
no, no.
enjoyed the work,
right.
because I'm focused on trying to get these things sorted out.
Exactly,
And I love the tax map thing, as difficult as it's been, I've learned a lot.
right.
I've learned a
sure.
huge amount about my town, if nothing
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
I'm almost got those tax maps memorized now. Anyway, people need to be interested, they need to be engaged, they need to be, you know, and the money is part of it. Today, in today's day and world, there is no such thing as saying, I'm doing it for my community, for the good of my community, this and that. It's not gonna happen. If I
Lloyd's
added
the
up
only
all the
one.
money I spent, I'll bet you I'm in the negative, just the amount of gas money I spend in a
Right.
year,
Right.
running around doing
Absolutely.
stuff.
You enjoyed it, yes,
So it's not just us, it's the town. What kind of a
Right.
vision do the people of this town have for us and for our future?
sir. Mhm.
And, I'm concerned about it, that's all,
Mhm.
and I am, you know, that's all, and,
Well,
you know.
I was going to ask a basic question, and, are our salaries, are they reasonable? I mean, is this, for the time you put in?
Not
I
in
mean, would-
today's,
I think what I wanna, I think my
No.
question and where I'm coming from is, would we gain a better quality person if we could pay more money?
You gain a little bit more interest from people,
Right,
because right now, people, this is.
Right. that's what I thought. thought, and I don't know if as a town, we can afford.
I'm not doing it for the
any-
money, I'll be honest.
Well,
with you.
no, I know that,
You know.
but I've
well,
been,
I don't think-
compared to other
this is-
towns, I mean, are we even on a level?
Right.
Yes, with other towns we are actually.
Okay,
What I
okay.
think would be a good model is something like Moscow. You've got one full-time person who kind of oversees everything.
Mm-hmm,
Janice Malloy, kind of, she's a treasurer, tax collector, clerk.
mm-hmm,
If we had one person in here that sort of, you know,
And paid them a living wage, salary
Yes,
for the
right.
year.
and, you know, maybe it's a part-time, maybe it's a 30-hour week,
mm-hmm.
work week instead of 40.
And the other thing that
But
we're
still.
facing is the same thing that, the businesses are facing, we're far away. I mean, no one wants to drive here
No,
to do what they need to do on a regular basis.
For me to have to plan accordingly for Wednesday afternoon is a pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, you know, money is not, it's not even money, it's
No,
not
I
worth it
understand that,
to me.
but I just wondered if, you know, what roadblocks are we facing in trying to get people to want to do a good job at this? Is it the lack of salary, is it lack of, or is it just traveling? I mean, you've gotta get out of the area almost, I mean, it's like, we can't hire people because no one wants to drive to the
Right.
forts to work
I
every
think
day.
it's probably a combination of all
Of all
of
of
those to some
those
degree or
things,
another,
that's
and the demographics of the community.
Mm-hmm,
We're a recreation community.
right,
I mean,
and we're
nobody in
seasonal,
this town has
Charlie.
any kids.
And we're
Nobody's
seasonal,
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, when you go into a community that has schools and,
that's right.
you know, a recreation
That's right.
department, and
You
then
have mothers
people
looking
get
for
more
mothers,
involved. I mean,
to work.
I didn't
Exactly.
move up here to get involved.
No,
I mean, I'm on the verge of being able to spend all my time hunting and fishing. That's
Right.
what I wanna do.
that's right.
Um,
And you worked
so,
a long time.
and I don't think I'm unique, it's, you know, that's why a lot of people are
That's
here.
right.
Or they're transients and they're here for a couple of years.
Right,
There are very, very few people, in my opinion, that really see this as their community.
right.
That,
I agree
you know,
with you.
we're all in this together, this is
That's
our
right.
community.
Mm-hmm,
And there's, you know, and the money might help. For me, I look back at least 5 or 6 years for all the assessors, it hasn't changed. But
right.
how do you as an assessor say, you know, you need to pay us more money?
Well,
It's
no,
so
I
self-serving.
I just wondered if in advertising these jobs that we were out of the box, or whether, are we?
And it's
In-
more difficult because we're husbands and wives, like,
Right,
for them to endorse, oh, we think the clerk should get more money, well, that's
Well,
your
exactly,
wife, so
exactly.
it's like, or the treasurer, I mean.
Absolutely.
right.
But, and
So
I
it
don't,
makes it
I don't
That's why
really,
I think if you consolidate it to one person.
I think that's, I
Who
think that
does
has merit,
Yeah,
because then you've got more hours,
So
you've
what
got
that
more
would
money.
entitle is, what we'd have to do is have a special town meeting, say in March or February or March, to start that discussion
Yes,
with the
I
town's
think
folks
that's
and see
excellent.
how they felt about it, because we need to have that
yeah,
prepared and ready to
because
go.
you can't do
for
it at the
June.
meeting in June, that's right.
Exactly,
well,
so,
that was Charlie speaks much better than I do, but that's what number 10
well,
was
but-
supposed to be.
so,
but
It was the same subject.
a lot of this stuff and the time that I spend here,
Yep.
okay, are things that do have an endpoint,
Yep.
okay? The tax maps is an endpoint.
Yes,
The finances and having that run, you
That's
know,
right.
smoothly, there is an endpoint.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that the next person, I mean, I'm trying to get a lot of this done, so the next person
Right.
doesn't have to
That's
do
right.
it.
and we appreciate
That's
You
that.
know, and to leave, like, feel
Right.
when I leave, like I did something of value
Right.
for
Sure.
everybody,
So,
you know, but.
number one, the both of you have done a lot of value in the time and tenure that you've been here. You, way a lot of value. I mean, you've done outstanding for this community, there's no words can describe the amount of effort and time and what you've accomplished
all of
in all of this. But number two, the town will go on, and somebody will step up, and whether it struggles or whatever, or if it doesn't do to the same,
Caliber.
stature, caliber of what you're doing, that's the town's decision. Those are the people's decisions to make.
Agreed.
You know, so we have to look at it as, you know, I could be fired in June. I could be, you know, by something that we could have a whole new regime up here, and they can start over and they can learn the curves. But that's why they have MMA in place, and that's why they have, and hopefully we're setting with Mark and other, you know, things in place, so they'll have an easier time to learn than we did.
Yeah.
But we can't start thinking about it 7 months ahead, and have a plan.
I think we can start thinking about it, but I don't think we necessarily need to finalize.
You guys have already started thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't wanna
Well, you
think.
can't have, I know, yes, but it is good, but I think that's a wonderful
it's
idea.
food for thought.
To bring these, we need to bring more issues to the townspeople.
The people need to be aware, and they
They
need to
Nobody
make
knows.
decisions to make.
Watch the video.
Well, they also
But-
need to know that what de-organizing means. What does
That's
that,
right,
you know,
that's
what,
right.
what
Cause I
does
have
that
heard
mean
that,
in
that's not
terms
from
of?
me, you know, that's not my idea, I've
At
heard it
all.
from, you know.
Right.
So we can start having this small discussions with what we're talking about now. And let's try to plan on something, say in March. That'll give us 3 months, March, April, May, June, that'll give us 4 months
Yeah.
to, come up with, hopefully, you know, what, a direction, whether we have to have 1 or 2 special meetings, then we do.
Mhm.
Or even announce that this will be this is gonna be the topic at this month's meeting, we don't have to have a special
I
meeting.
agree,
But we can make it
Right.
part of our meeting, starting in March, and try to get the,
the citizens to come in.
if they come, if they come and they're interested, then they'll come.
Then
If they don't come and they're not interested, then so be it, I mean, it is what it is.
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea just to have conversations when you're out and about with people about what's happening, you know, so that when you're at the Hawk's Nest and you know, that somebody, I don't know.
I think
feels
John will
that-
step up, I think John's a candidate, I know Matt's interested.
Who's John? I don't know.
John Tassinari, he lives at the corner, he's been doing a little excavation work.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Matt, I don't know where Matt is, got a tree down across his driveway, there's no signs of life there.
He's got 2 driveways, that makes a horseshoe,
Oh, it does?
yeah.
I asked John if he wanted to, you know, do any of the tasks in the office. I mean, he
Yeah.
said he doesn't have time. But, so he may want to be one of the assessors,
That's
but,
what he, yeah.
but there's,
We're not voting him in right now, I'm just saying that I believe that there's interest out there,
right.
and there's other people that would step up.
That's good.
So, but we can start having these discussions, I know, I already am, so.
I think that an ideal model in a way is that the assessors, again, some of the stuff, a lot of the time I spend is trying to get some things that have been left undone for years done.
I
And
understand
cleaned
that,
up.
yeah.
And once they're cleaned up, then that's not work that has to be done again.
Right.
Not- you know what I
Right,
mean?
for a long time.
But
So.
the model of having an assessors and having them earn, you know, what we do right now, and having basically a town manager for nothing, for lack of a better term, who's also the treasurer, the tax collector, the clerk, and it's a livable position
Mhm.
wage. This
Mhm.
person, and they would basically end up running the town or keeping track of it.
Well, it's a great thought, but we gotta sell it to the people.
I know,
And so that's not how I envision it. I respect her and I like your idea, but that's not how I see it would work, but, but I think that those discussions have to be done with the people.
Right, absolutely.
So we can put out there that in March, we're gonna start discussing, how we're gonna go forward as a town government
Mhm.
in the future and start getting some ideas and see who shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't show up, then
The only conflicting positions, as far as I know, is to be an assessor and a tax collector. But
I
you
think
can be
assessor and treasurer. I don't think you can be an
Right, that's
assessor
what I'm
and
saying.
deal
Yeah.
with money.
that's what
I
I'm
mean, you
talking
make
about.
decisions, but you don't do
So,
the mechanics.
but I don't think that there's any conflict of interest to be a treasurer, a tax collector, the clerk, the voter registrar,
Right, right.
all those other positions.
yeah, that's,
I mean, I know that they aren't an assessing position, they don't have a voice, but those are important positions too.
They're the ones that do all the work. They
Yeah.
make
Well, they bring the
decisions.
information to the people that do make the decisions.
Exactly.
So, I do have, before we wrap this up, Ben emailed me this,
well, I'm not done with my old business. but
Okay,
we're not-
sorry.
if we
So-
can- Are we done with our new business?
Yep.
okay.
Okay, I have one more thing of new business, and it's not to single Justin out, but I think we need to come up with a policy about, attendance. I know the West Forks has, you can't miss 3 meetings in a year. Justin's missed last month, this month, and he's already called out for next month, so that's three months in a row we're missing an assessor.
Yeah,
You know, that's, you know, and I understand he's got a lot going on, but we have a lot going on, we have a whole lot of
that's life
responsibility.
today.
And I think we need to come up with a policy, of attendance. And have some sort of discussion about it.
I think I agree completely, however, I don't know if we can make a policy and then,
I mean,
act on it retroactively.
no, I don't
You
mean
know what
that.
I'm saying,
I
moving
don't,
forward.
I'm not,
Right.
I don't mean that, I
No.
mean for the
Moving
future,
forward.
Right,
moving forward.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I mean, the reason we have 3 people is that we have 3 people that do think differently
Right.
and are willing and able to speak up and respect each other, even if we might not see things the same way, and work together, you know, and not 2, but 3, there's a reason. You know, there's a reason there's 3 people,
100%.
you know, and if David and I came up to something and we didn't agree, that's the end of it right there.
Well, that's,
You know,
that's.
You have to
forward.
table
That's
it.
not
You
good.
always
Right,
have
no,
it
no,
on.
So we
that's
would have
not-
had to have
right.
tabled something for 3
I'm
months.
just saying, so
That's
that's
right.
not, that's why we have 3 people.
Right.
Mhm.
So I
You
would
always have
agree,
it on
and
there.
I'd be happy to try
Okay.
to draw something up.
That would be great, and then we can implement it for the next session. next-
Yeah. and
But I
that's-
mean, it
yeah,
just needs to be there, I think,
I think that's an excellent.
you know, and I'm not trying to single Justin out,
No,
no, this is,
not anybody.
but it's, you know, even for me, I mean, geez, I don't wanna come here, there's room.
That's right.
But as Justin's not the first one.
No, he's not,
No.
this has happened in the past as well,
Yes.
and,
Yeah.
That topic was under new business, just to be clear, right?
what's that?
That topic was under new business?
Yes.
Okay, and but you said you weren't finished.
I'm not
your
finished with
old
old business, but we were into the new business, and we're
Okay,
gonna go back
okay,
to the
I'm
old.
just like, where
Sorry.
am I putting it
Yeah, yeah.
here in the
Nope.
minutes?
So any more new business?
I don't have it.
Okay, so back to the old business on the sand and salt. So if my numbers are correct from what we paid from the Forks to New England Salt and what we charged, the county, that would be 362.04 tons. What New England Salt quoted me is they sent us 405.04 tons. So there's, that's 43 tons missing that they claim they sent us.
Mhm.
We didn't pay for it. If these numbers are, and I gotta say they're accurate, 'cause they came out of Trio, correct?
Yeah.
So,
And we didn't pay anything after May 28th, whatever the deadline was on that, right?
I don't, I can't, no, I don't think so. I mean, I can look
No,
at
it's
it again tomorrow and just make,
just before I call them, that would be great.
I mean, I could look through even all the warrants too.
Yeah.
I did, I think it was in March or April I found it, of last year, is when I found where we paid New England Salt, and it had all those slips that I
Yeah.
photoed and
We
sent to you.
paid them almost monthly. It seemed like every time I turned around.
Yeah,
we
they
paid
started in
thousands
November.
of dollars.
Did they? Well.
Oh, yeah, we paid a ton,
Well, that, I didn't,
pun intended.
So-
We paid them a ton.
So my point is as we speak with the numbers that I have, based on the 405, what New England Salt said, that we had a surplus. Based on this number from what I just figured out with the math of what we paid, which we're gonna double check, we would be, at a slight deficit. So, we're talking a truckload is what we're looking at, a truck or two, you know, so it's not like it's a huge amount. But what they did is the beginning of last storm season, we zeroed out, so we started with a clean slate. Well, they have a new supervisor in town, up here, and he wants Andy to give him an update weekly rather than monthly, so we're trying to make sure we're starting off all on the same leg.
right.
So
Yeah, that makes
that's
sense.
the importance to this.
Well, I can, research tomorrow and find out exactly what,
If you could, that would be
I mean,
great.
they must have a vendor, and I mean, even if, you shouldn't
No,
even have
right.
to go through all the warrants, you should have.
We paid for it all, right?
well, as long as we, classified them all under the same account, you know what I'm saying? But
You mean under the same?
actually, I can just look
Charter.
under the, whatever the sand and salt is, the vendor, and
New
get a
England
vendor
Salt.
detail.
Mhm.
That would be an easier
And
way.
that would give us a
That
total of,
would give us each time we paid them, and what we paid them and when.
if I could get that information, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I probably could do it tonight if you wanted to wait a second.
That's up to you.
I could do that. Anyway,
When we write the checks, do we have the ticket number in the memo or anything, you know? I like,
the,
when you write a check for that, do you have ticket?
They
It's
the
like,
slip.
when the man delivers the
invoice
order,
number,
the ticket,
yes.
and then we write a
So
check and.
that's where
Yeah.
who's signing this?
he has them,
Oh,
over there at the
he does.
DOT,
Oh,
he leaves
okay.
them with a DOT garage. So this is why we're trying to,
Okay, so you don't actually.
they
write
sent us a
it.
copy with the bill.
Okay.
I
Okay.
never read it.
But I was wondering when we issued the
I've
check,
read- I've
we
read
made a
it.
memo of, this is
But
the
it's
ticket
not- I
number,
don't
blah,
know.
blah, blah.
Right, I
didn't
don't
know.
know what she
Yeah.
does with that, that's.
Right.
Any other business? Are we gonna sign that right there too, or just one?
No, just
Okay.
one.
All right, I make a motion to adjourn.
Wow.
I second.
Once
Okay.
again, you're
At
both
19:34.
absolutely wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I think if more people came, you'd find it interesting, because a lot goes on at these meetings. But that's because of the way you conduct the meeting, it's all business, it's nothing else. And,
We try, yeah.
yeah,
Well-
and I think that's wonderful.
I know the camera's still running this, and I don't mind. The fact of the matter is that I often have wondered, not just me, but with all of us, the way we kind of, so my vision of the transition, the history and how we got to where we are, you know, I took they couldn't kill the message, which were, things weren't being done right, and there was some corruption. I don't know if there was embezzlement, but there was certainly corruption. And things weren't being done right, and instead of, you know, instead of killing the message or addressing the message, they decided to go after the messenger,
Right.
which was me,
That's
you,
exactly
you,
right.
and you.
That's
And so I'm like, so is this aura out there that, oh, they're bad people, nobody wants to work with them, they're this, that, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
like,
I do.
I mean, maybe if we were gone, there'd be, you know, all of a sudden 19
Nobody ever,
citizens, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to get involved.
I never came, Charlie, I was guilty as anybody.
Same, I
But
never.
I'm saying, we were all
did either.
vilified,
Yeah,
not because of who we are,
right,
because the message was truth.
yeah,
And they couldn't
absolutely.
address
it
the
was.
message,
And that's how they feel, they do vilify, they.
attack the messenger.
And they talk about it at their places that, I know Chris has talked to Michelle about Denise and I, why we don't go there.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, that's not why.
Yeah, we don't go there because we can't afford to go out to eat anymore.
Well, nobody can, to
Right, that's right.
You know, you drive, we
I
drove
can't really either,
through
plus I'm-
Waterville
Yeah.
and stuff here, and yesterday Chuck had to go to Augusta. It was like, everything was closed, I mean, there was no one on the road.
Right.
We took the exit by Margaret,
Mhm.
off 95, usually you come off there and there's cars with
Yeah,
No, it was like it was Sunday morning and everything was closed.
yeah, it's, no.
I can't afford to really go out anywhere, and it's not specific.